everywhere. All over the place. There's connective tissue. All of this, all of it is linked.
I'm curious, when you read the book, at what point did you see the movie?
Yeah, around the second time. I read it 3 times before I approached her about writing the screenplay and directing the piece. And it was around the second time her voice started to lift off the pages beyond the information she was sharing. Like, I heard the writer's voice, and I started to, images at first started to be conjured in my mind, and the characters started to lift off of the pages, and I wanted to see them living and breathing and portrayed by actors, and so started to think this might be a film.
It's an amazing cast list that you managed to put together here, and some you've worked with before. Right here to your left, Aunjanue, what a wonderful performance here, and yeah. Of course, you worked together in When They See Us, and this is your second time. What was it like for you, though, taking this on? And did you use the book as well as the screenplay to develop this? What was your process here?
I would say the brilliance of Ms. Wilkerson's writing is that she is a very personal and intimate writer. And I saw Cast as a historical work, a journalistic work, but for me, it is as much a memoir as anything else. And so I was able to search for those clues about the woman in every page, because her blood runs through every word, every page, every example that she uses to bolster her argument. There's flesh in it for her as well. She personalizes everything. So I studied the great script that I had, but my Bible also was Cast, the book.
That's great. And of course, Niecy, you've worked at least twice before with Ava here, also in Selma, we all know, another great movie.
And When They See Us, this is my third time.
Yes, so your third time. And this character, she's moving, she's funny, she's all kinds of different things. It's a great role, and you're wonderful in it.
Thank you. I came to the party as an invitation to Ava. I'm from Ava. She said, I wrote this part with you in mind, but I had another job. And she said, but I'm sad because you can't do it. And I said, well, what I can do, friend, is help you find somebody. Let's think of somebody. I sent her a full list of names. She said no to every single one. And I'm like, you don't even want to read them? She was like, no. And I said, okay, well, let me see what we can do. And luckily, my job at the time was amenable. So I would fly from LA to Savannah and come right back and go to work. So it just meant a couple of weeks for me with no off days. But that's my dear friend. And one of the most talented people I know. So she will always have me at hello.
Working with Aunjanue here in those scenes, you're terrific together.
Oh, thank you. Well, this woman right here is so talented. And for me, I knew that my responsibility was to provide provision for the vision, to undergird her, to support her in the film and on set. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to show up and do. Sometimes, you just got to know when to play your position, what it is, and do it properly. And that's what I think I did for her,
And I thought the marriage here was so touchingly presented, and it really comes through, Jon. Even after you're gone, they've seen the movie now. I don't have to do any spoilers. That's what I love about this. It's a wonderful relationship that comes through in a few scenes together. You actually shared a film credit with Aunjanue before, King Richard. I remember talking to you guys about that movie. What was this experience like for you?
There's so much elegance and temperance to the way that Isabel works. And that same elegance and temperance is in how Ava made this movie and how Ava works. And it is exactly the same in my friend Aunjanue and how she goes about it. And just these staggeringly talented women. And I think, like you said, it's knowing that you're there to support, knowing that you're there to serve. I'm really, really, really grateful that I got the opportunity. You know,
This started out as a Netflix project with all that money behind it. And what happened? You guys said, no, we're going to make it independently. We're going to go back to our beginnings here because that was important. Why?
Yeah, certainly when we started Middle of Nowhere, it was an independent film. No one really knew who we were. You know, we were just kind of below the radar. It was interesting as we started to develop this once Ava had a script, and it looked as if the Netflix mechanism wasn't going to move forward at the pace we needed to accomplish the film. She pitched this idea that was, you know, outlandishly brilliant, that we're going to take it and go back independently. Netflix was very gracious to allow us a pathway to do that, but that was the easy part. The hard part then was kind of us putting back on our independent filmmaking clothes and getting back into the mindset of, going out on your own to do it. But the beauty of it was that there were so many things that Ava creatively wanted to say, how she wanted to cast the film, where we were going to shoot, how we were going to shoot, what were the important stories we were going to say, that really I can't imagine how any other way but independent would have given us a pathway to this film.
Usually independent means independent, smaller, try to get as many scenes on one set here. You're going off to Germany, you're going off to India. This is almost epic-like in the kind of thing you have to do on an indie budget here.
Yes, well, we shot 3 countries in 37 days. So the film was shot in 37 days. And, you know, in order to do that, it's not just about putting the money together and trying to figure out how to corral that. It's, you know, the brilliance of Paul Garnes and really orchestrating all those international moves on a small budget. But then also, you know, you can't just call it the studio. You can't call it labor relations and production insurance and all of those things. It's all just between the two of us trying to figure that piece out. And then in addition to that, a lot of the comforts that come with those studio films, we were uncomfortable sometimes. But in order to do that, you know, I really had to have, you know, actors and in particular Aunjanue Ellis playing Isabel Wilkerson.
Right down here we have 2 musical geniuses, in my opinion. Yes, right there. Kris Bowers, who pretty much every movie I've seen this year, your name's on it. And of course, Green Book, on and on and on, all of his credits. Talk about your relationship here. You've worked with Ava in many different ways.
You know, I think the thing that's become really clear is just how much every project, especially this one, is about something far bigger than any of us individually, you know, and I think that ethos that Ava brings to everything she does is so inspiring from like the very beginning of even talking about a project, because with a project like this, I think that from the first time I watched it, I'm already feeling all of these emotions and this importance and this weight in terms of what I want to make sure that I contribute to this project. And then our conversations immediately after that are all about how can we serve this story, how can we serve these communities, how can we serve the greater idea here. And I think that type of mentality always pushes me to do my absolute best, like, you know, under any circumstances, because it's not about pleasing Ava, it's about making sure that this important piece is given everything that it needs to be given.
Tell me how you found Stan, because I believe it was on Instagram or something.
Yes, Paul Garnes said, "Hey, have you seen this?" And he showed me a YouTube video of fabulous Maori vocalist singing a cover song of a cover version of a Kanye West song that I like, Ultralight Beam. This thing has gone viral, this rendition that Stan did of it, and I hadn't seen it. So I said, "Who's that?" He's like, I don't know who he is, but this is a really good song. And listen to his voice, because he sounded like an old black man in an Alabama church, but he looked like that.
I loved the whole process, but also I was scared as hell because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much on this. And me being who I am and where I come from, I want to represent me and my people and represent my family. And this song is my response to that. It's my emotional response to that. And also I feel like I have a responsibility as an artist, as a storyteller through my music, to take care of our people, to give power back to the people. The song is a reclamation of identity and a reclamation of our culture.
That whole cast system and everything about it is you walked the walk with that, and that there were just in cameras, use of cameras, first unit, second unit, everybody was equal on this. Can you just briefly tell why you decided to do that?
Yeah, it's almost impossible as you start the conversation about cast as a concept to not start identifying it in all these other parts of your life. All the trappings of the process rely on hierarchies. And so one of the things we wanted to do is specifically strip away some of those things. So like in the camera department, instead of the, A camera, B camera, which inherently everybody kind of leans on to A camera being the important one and B camera being less important, we did East and West cameras. Just to strip away just the importance of it all. The background actors are usually relegated to their own separate tent, their separate eating, all those things. And Ava would daily go in and have conversations with the background. And that contributed not just in making them feel like full-fledged cast and crew members of the project, but as a group working together, it also gave us the opportunity of adding to our story. They contributed in meaningful ways. So.
Sometimes you have those little accidents, and those are the kind of things that we want people to know about the film, because I don't feel it's a hard movie to watch. I feel like it is an experience that we're inviting people into, and I hope people accept the invitation.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
Thank
for coming out
you so
here.
much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.